Hello, 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 hello. Been a minute since I've done a video on here. I felt called to talk about touch and feeling safe and the importance of touch and how it's become extremely clear on my journey how it will continue to save my life. Um, I've been very transparent that for the last 2 years, I've been feeling suicidal pretty much every day, all day, with moments of reprieve from here to there, here and there, here and there. And I just came back from a 4-day men's retreat and was blasted wide open. And at the same time, there was more fear brought up than ever. And this morning, I was called to look up oxytocin because one of the things, maybe the most important thing for me, has been touch. When I touch myself, when I am touching another person, like cuddling or hugging them, it is amazing how my entire nervous system, which is almost constantly like really tense and hypervigilant, relaxes. It's like there's this story deeply, deeply, that has been deeply embedded and is unraveling in my nervous system that says, I'm not safe to be here, right? I'm not safe in my body. It's not safe to be in my body. Other people are not safe. I can't trust life. I can't trust other people. And the only way to survive is to hide, run, isolate, and freeze. And that has been how I have operated most of my life. In the language of the trauma responses, I've been in freeze, deer in headlights. Most of the time, I've been like that. Freeze and fawn when I'm with other people, right? I go rigid, and then I just chameleon into, what do you need me to say so that you won't hurt me? And I became extremely adept at that. And I know that that's also a gift of mine, is being able to connect to other people. And then the freeze and the fawn, and then the flight. Anytime I would feel nervous about something, most often social situations, I would cancel plans. I would say, hey, I don't feel well. I feel sick. Oh, hey, kitty. Um, and I would run from it because my nervous system was on red alert all the time. I'm not safe. People aren't safe. I can't be myself. I can't just show up and be as I am. And so I'm working through that on such a fucking deep level. It's led me to the brink of madness, insanity, terror, suicidality. But now it's so fucking clear what's going on that I'm so committed to it. And life is forcing me to like fully commit to it. Um, I have $12. I have a place to stay for the next 11 days. I'm not going back to my parents. Like, I know I'm not. I'm just going to keep trusting this. But there's a reason I've had issues with money and grounding, is it's because my whole nervous system has been on red alert all the time saying, I'm not safe to be here. So why would I allow myself to receive sustenance? And the reason I wanted to share this, one, it feels really good to express. One of the insights I've had recently is that creative expression, whether it's movement, um, singing, speaking, writing, it's extremely cathartic to do it. It also brings you into presence because when you're speaking, it you want to speak, you want to use your words as carefully and precisely as possible. So it drops you into a deeper level of presence. Whereas if you're not expressing yourself, it's a lot easier to go up into your head and just spin and spin and spin. So I wanted to share for this reason. And then also because I know there are so many fucking people that are struggling with suicidal ideation. There might be people that are at the edge where it feels like I've been for quite a long time. And I just wanted to talk about what I feel are some of the reasons for it, and then yeah, touch and oxytocin. But ultimately, I do feel that the core of suicidal ideation is this feeling of I'm not safe to be here. And so the survival response says, get me the fuck out of here. And that manifests as suicidal ideation. And so the process of like moving through this is witnessing it and then taking actions that disprove it, being with really intense sensations. Like even right now in this moment, my whole body is on fire with sensation. Like I have the chills, there's icy sensation running up and down my body. And I see it as I never felt safe, regulated to experience the intensity of these sensations. So as I drop more into my body through the help of certain practices and awareness and certain medicines, I'm going to be experiencing previously undigested and unfelt sensations. So it's going to be excruciating. And my mind is going to freak out and say, oh my God, if you feel this intensity, you'll die. So oftentimes it feels like I'm dying every day. Like I'll have these waves of terror before an experience, but then I go into the experience anyway, and eventually I calibrate, and my being goes, "Oh, you're okay." And then I can really drop into what they call that ventral vagal space of like, "Oh, I'm fine. Like I'm good. Like I can just be myself. I don't have to. I don't have to put on a mask. Um, I don't have to please everyone. I don't have to prove anything. I can just show up as I am." And that's, of course, poetically, my number one goal in life, my number one desire. It's nothing external. I mean, I do have these external dreams, but they're secondary. My number one goal is to just fucking be here as I am and be at ease. Like, be relaxed. Like, trust life, trust other people, trust myself. And it has been a fucking road. Oh, the amount of sensations that I feel like they're gonna kill me. Like right now, it's just so intense. I got goosebumps. But what I'm learning through this initiation and this transformation and this return to love is that I am safe. Always, like always. And so it's witnessing the stories, witnessing my nervous system, beloved nervous system freak out, and then not reacting in the same ways that I used to. And life has poetically put me in this situation so that I can't really react in the old ways anyway. I can't really run away or freeze anymore because it just hurts. And since I don't have much money or a long-term living situation, all I can really do is lean in and be with myself. Um, like there's not a ton of comfort. I do have spaces I can create comfort with here, but there's not this like certainty. I used to be able to attach myself to this sense of mental certainty using the mind for safety because I didn't feel safe in the body. And then I could kind of check out and live in my mind and say, okay, yeah, I know I'm safe because I can go back in my bed and I can curl up in a ball with Jera here, the kitty, and I'll be safe. But now when I hide, when I avoid, it doesn't feel good anymore because my soul is like, I want to live, I want to connect, I want to experience. And so there's nothing to do but just keep leaning in and keep proving to my beautiful, extremely traumatized nervous system that I'm safe. And honestly, what keeps me going is I know there are so many people that feel this way, and they may not have the same level of awareness that I have. It's like I've been gifted this for a reason so that I can help other people. And so it's like as I'm helping myself, I just want to help other people like so badly, so badly. So to bring it all back, I believe that suicidality comes from, on a core level, this feeling of I'm not safe, which comes from deep abandonment and betrayal wounds. Potentially, the mother didn't have a lot of oxytocin, which is that feel good hormone that helps us feel safe. So maybe from a young age, even from birth, we didn't have it. If we weren't touched a lot as a child, some of us may have higher touch needs. Like I clearly do. I think people that are on the spectrum, I mean, I've never been diagnosed, but I'm certain I'd be diagnosed as autism. I don't know what tests they have, but I'm so fucking sensitive on a sensory level. It's absurd. And I can shift from terror to everything's okay sometimes just by doing this, like so sensitive. Or lighting incense or smelling an essential oil. I digress. It's about feeling safe. We want to feel safe here. I want to feel safe here. And using the senses, particularly touch, is what I'm talking about in this video, seems to be the key. And it's retraining the nervous system, this beautiful, beautiful nervous system. Like, I'm safe here. I'm safe here. It's okay to exist. Like, you can just exist. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to perform. You don't have to look a certain way. Like, I know I've been obsessed with how I look. I was bullied. I've shared, like, for my eyes, they're very close set and narrow, and I was called Cyclops. And so there's just been this, like, deep belief of, like, I'm not emotionally safe. I'm not physically safe. And so, of course, parts of me are going, get me the fuck out of here, right? But touch, oxytocin and connection and trust, like this relearning of, like, life is okay, and whether or not you believe in God or what I sometimes call this benevolent divine poetry being written, we are safe here on the spiritual level. And we're reminding the nervous system that has carried so much pain and fear that it's safe to be here. The animal part of us, that it's safe to be here. And it's becoming an even deeper mission for me because it's literally keeping me alive. Like, I do feel like my face is pressed against the glass, and not in a hateful way, but in a loving way, by God saying, hey, you deserve to thrive here. You don't need to run away anymore. So we're going to figure this out. We're going to figure out how to heal these wounds that you have around betrayal and abandonment and fear of rejection and all these things. We're going to figure it out because you deserve to figure it out. And so there is no time to waste anymore. And so, yeah, I don't know if there's anything else. It was mostly just I wanted to express, because expressing feels right, to express what I've been integrating, to talk about the importance of touch and hugging and connection, cuddling, social interaction, co-regulation, having safe fucking people who won't judge you, who won't try to fix you, who you could be a fucking mess with, and they're not going to try to fix you or judge you. They're just going to love you as you are because you are a divine child of God, of this universe, and there's nothing wrong with you, no matter what your circumstances say, or no matter what your no matter what your level of fear, or no matter what you look like. Like, that doesn't matter. You're worthy just for existing. And that's what I'm and all of us are retraining ourselves to remember. There's so much hatred and separation in this world. All this projection of our own shadows, of the parts of us that don't feel safe, of our own shame, of our own self-judgment. But heaven on earth, which is what we're creating, is this space where we can live without shame. What just came to me is, like, the Garden of Eden before Adam and Eve, and allegory or not, I believe it's allegory. They were naked and they were like free, right? They didn't have shame. Shame and fear weren't really part of their experience. And at the core of our being, I know that to be true. I know it. And it's learned, it's conditioned from all these painful experiences in the past and from generational trauma. But we are safe here. We are safe here. Speaking that out to myself. There's been so many moments, especially when I was at the men's retreat, which was so divinely orchestrated because, as I said, one of my patterns has been to run. And so when you're in a cabin in rural Michigan with no car, because I got a ride from a friend, and no money, I was gifted the retreat by three friends. You're forced to surrender to the experience. And so, yeah, it's just, I digress. I lost my train of thought on that. But just reminding myself that I'm safe, even when, oh, this is what I was going to say. There's been so many moments in the last 2 years where parts of where my mind, coming from this feeling of unsafety, has freaked out and has said, like, I can't take it anymore. I have to kill myself, or I have to go check into a hospital, because for me that has been safety. Like, if I'm at a hospital, I'm in a safe space and I won't hurt myself. There were so many times during the retreat when I went into that space of like, I can't take this anymore. I'm gonna die, because I kept growing and actually dropping into more safety, but my nervous system didn't trust it. It wanted to run. And so it's like, what I'm learning is to witness these stories, witness these reactions that say you're not safe, and just keep going. And it's nuts. It's fucking nuts. And it's scary and it's horrifying at times. It's possible. It has to be. It has to be, because that's what I'm banking my entire life on. That's why I'm still here, is this belief that I can continue to feel more safe here and to not feel this sense of separation and alienation, and feel safe in my body and play in my body and connect with other beings. Just relax, right? Just relax. Not have to walk around with tension, masking my behavior, pleasing other people all the time, but just, all right, I'm gonna leave it there. I have a friend hopefully coming over to cuddle with, because I need that. That's one of the things I'm learning is my needs. I need touch, a lot of it, like a lot of it, to survive. And yeah, what just came to me is, envisioning in the future, if someone goes to the hospital for suicidal ideation, rather than put in a gray hallway and kind of isolated, they would have access to like body work or touch or cuddle therapy and music, all these things to help us feel safe. Remember that. Now, I was going to leave some message, some send off, but just, no matter how hard it is, please keep going. As much as I've gotten triggered when people would say, like, your life matters, keep going, blah, 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 blah. And I would say, fuck you. If I want to leave, I want to leave. But I have this belief that deep down, none of us really want to leave. We really want to live. We just maybe don't know how. And so that turmoil leads to this feeling of I'm out, because it reaches an overwhelming point. Thank you. Also, feel called to share if you were impacted in any way and you feel a pull to donate. I would love to receive right now. as I continue to take it a day at a time and unravel what is next. What feels true for my path, so I have to pay rent here before I leave, which is $400, and then I keep getting nudges to leave. Honestly, what scares me, but also feels exciting. I've had a lot of nudges to like hitchhike. I've had some certain nudges for Colorado, for Peru, for Hawaii. So I'm not sure yet. But there's this mission of like proving that I'm safe and connecting to other people. Like that's what I'm here for. Creation, connection, safety, play. Very much like lower two chakras. That's the deep healing. I'll leave a Venmo and my PayPal in the description. Thank you guys.